Ash and Pikachu have traveled to the Paldea region to discover what it truly means to be a Pokemon Master. After battling Star Boss Giacomo and defeating the Open Sky Titan, we now explore what if Ash caught Charcadet in my Scarlet and Violet anime series.
Won't give up until we find something to treasure.
Episode 22. Ash and his friends have returned to the academy, and in their battle studies class, Dendra has them using rental Pokemon to showcase their skills with unfamiliar Pokemon. As each student chooses their Pokemon, Ash is drawn to an aloof Charcadet named Charlos, who refuses to cooperate. Dendra explains that Charlos once bonded with the trainer, but after they left the academy, he lost his motivation to battle. She hoped new students would cheer him up, but Charlos remains withdrawn. Despite this, Ash is determined to help Charlos. As the trainers get to know their Pokemon before battle, Ash shares with Charlos his own experiences of separation from friends and Pokemon, expressing how he works hard every day to make them proud. He encourages Charlos to do the same, and promises to help him battle in a way that honors his former friend. Touched by Ash's words, Charlos agrees to battle. The battles get underway, with each trainer having an interesting time using Pokemon they've never used before. Liko faces a Methio using Fido versus Dratini. Despite having the clear type advantage, Liko loses to a Methio, showing how impressive he is. Liko thanks a Methio for a good battle, but a Methio seems unamused by her performance. Then it's Ash and Charlos' turn, who are facing Nemona and Dunsparce. Nemona's eager to battle her rival once again, and says to have themselves a fruitful battle. Charlos starts with Fire Spin, trapping Dunsparce in flames. It breaks free however using Mud Slap, doing damage to Charlos. Ash then commands Clear Smog, however Nemona retaliates with Rollout. Charlos is having a hard time aiming, and Dunsparce continues its overwhelming rollout. Charlos is losing, however its Flame Body ability burns Dunsparce. Nemona then commands Poison Tail, sending Charlos flying, but Ash is able to catch him. Some of the poison seems to have affected Ash, but he's more concerned with Charlos' safety. Charlos is shocked to see how much Ash cares for him. Dunsparce then goes for another rollout, but with a surprise twist, Ash tells Charlos to use Fire Spin on himself. Charlos is hesitant, but trusts Ash, creating a fiery barrier that hurts itself and Dunsparce. This stops the rollout, so Charlos follows with a powerful Clear Smog to defeat Dunsparce. Nemona's amazed by Ash's unpredictability, and Charlos loves his battle style. Dendra, happy to see Charlos so excited, asks Ash if he wants to keep him. She thinks Charlos would be much happier with Ash, who has reignited his battle spirit. Ash loves the idea, and asks Charlos, who eagerly agrees. In the end, Ash officially catches Charlos the Charcadet as part of his team. Episode 23. Dot's video on the Olive Harvest Festival has gained her 500 subscribers. Wanting to keep up the momentum, she now wants to make a video about Pokemon battles, but isn't very skilled at them. Seeking advice, she asks Ash what makes him so good. He says the key is for trainer Pokemon to sync up like BAM, which allows them to go all boom and win the battle. Dot has no idea what he's saying. However, Ash challenges her to a battle so she can experience it firsthand. Dot's nervous, but Liko suggests recording the battle as Nidothing to include in her video and boost her viewership. Nidothing and Ash begin their battle. It's Cyndaquil versus Pikachu. Ash makes sure to send out the rest of his Pokemon as well, so they can learn from the battle. Ash lets Nidothing make the first move, and she starts with Smokescreen to lower Pikachu's visibility. Ash quickly counters with Pikachu's Quick Attack to clear the smoke. Nidothing is impressed, but not surprised by Ash's skill. She then commands Cyndaquil to use Swift, and Ash retaliates with Iron Tail. The Pokemon exchange blows, with Cyndaquil taking more damage. Ash intentionally holds back, curious to see how Nidothing will adapt. Realizing she needs to change tactics, Nidothing commands Flame Wheel. Pikachu dodges though, so Cyndaquil uses Smokescreen again. Ash makes Pikachu use Quick Attack to clear the smoke, but Nidothing anticipates this and commands Flame Wheel. The two moves collide, and Nidothing and Cyndaquil become fully engaged in the battle, refusing to give up. It then starts to click within Dot, as she's starting to understand the feelings Ash was describing about battles. She encourages Cyndaquil not to give up, causing Cyndaquil to learn a new move, Extra Sensory. Ash thinks this is a good place to end the battle, acknowledging Nidothing's growth. In reality, he wanted to keep battling, but for some reason, he's starting to feel under the weather. The video is posted, where Nidothing discusses the basics and the bond between trainer and Pokemon, a lesson learned from Champion Ash. The video performs well, gaining Nidothing many new subscribers. Dot's happy about the video, but more importantly, proud of her first major steps towards becoming a skilled trainer. Episode 24. Nemona's excited for another day of battling with Ash, but he's absent from class today. It turns out Ash is sick, so he visits Nurse Miriam. The poison Ash came in contact with during his battle with Nemona has caught up to him, so Miriam tells him that he needs to stay in the nurse's office for a few days to recover. Ash is disappointed, but Miriam tries to cheer him up by asking about his treasure hunt. During his stay, his friends check up on him to help him catch up on his schoolwork. Nemona is the most saddened that she can't battle with Ash. Arvin wants to help him recover faster, and decides to look for herbs to make a healing soup. Liko joins him, and as they search, Ash continues to share with Miriam his experiences in Paldea, and even some of his previous travels. Inspired by their conversation, Miriam shares her dream of becoming an official health teacher, and Ash encourages her to pursue her goal. In the woods, Arvin and Liko find healing herbs near a 4-star Terra crystal. They encounter a Terra Fire Toadscruel, and a fierce battle ensues. Small and sweet scent makes it hard for Toadscruel to dodge attacks. Toadscruel retaliates with Earth Power, dealing damage to their Pokemon. Liko then terastalizes Wooper for the advantage, and orders a boosted Water Pulse to counter Fire Terra Blast. With Toadscruel weakened, Quaxly learns Air Slash in order to finish it off. Toadscruel flees, allowing them to collect the herbs. Arvin thanks Liko, and praises her skills. This has her feeling confident to take on her Terastal basic test soon. Arvin prepares a healthy soup for Ash, who enjoys it and thanks Arvin and Liko. The next day, Ash is feeling much better and is cleared to leave the nurse's office. Miriam tells Ash that he was a great patient, and he can stop by to chat anytime. Now that he's free, Ash decides to return everyone their borrowed notes, starting with Penny. Penny is surprised and flustered when she sees Ash show up unannounced. She insists now's not a good time, and Ash apologizes, saying he just wanted to thank her and return her notes. As he's about to leave, however, Pikachu notices Penny's Eevee. This then leads to a slew of evolutions emerging to interact as well, leaving Ash totally shocked. Episode 25. Ash is amazed yet curious about Penny's evolutions, as he thought she was inexperienced. Penny freaks out and quickly brings everyone into her room. Now that they have some privacy, Penny decides to confess. She reveals she is in fact a skilled trainer. Ash is confused. With such an impressive team, why would she hide her abilities? Penny hesitates, but she shares her backstory. Growing up, her favorite Pokemon was Eevee. She was so passionate about them that she was teased for it, and called Eevee Freak. Rumors even spread, saying she was so obsessed with Eevee that she even wanted to become one. The bullying made her ashamed of her love for Eevee, leading her to return to her family in Galar. There she met a friend of her sister's, who also had an Eevee, and shared their own experiences of loving her Pokemon despite what others think. This encouraged Penny to embrace her interests, motivating her to train hard with her VVs. Just before returning to the academy, after a year and a half of absence, Penny encountered shiny Eevee. Seeing it as a sign of her fresh start, she managed to catch him as her academy partner. Despite her newfound confidence, however, she still hid her abilities, fearing the attention her shiny Eevee might bring will cause her to get bullied again. She apologizes to Ash for pretending to be weak, and not being more helpful in certain situations. Ash empathizes with her experiences, and praises her for trying to overcome her struggles. He's glad they met, and now understands why she joined Operation Starfall, to stop bullies like Team Star. Penny corrects him, however, explaining that she joined Operation Starfall to save Team Star. She reveals that the Star bosses were classmates who banded together in response to their bullying experience. For example, Giacomo was the student council president before Nemona, and was bullied for his strict rules. This revelation helps Ash understand Giacomo's actions and motivations now. Inspired by Penny's courage, Ash vows to continue Operation Starfall alongside her, and encourages her to no longer hide her Pokemon. He assures her that anyone who has a problem with her passion for Eevee will have to deal with him and Pikachu. Penny feels much closer to Ash now, and thanks him for his support. After spending some time in Penny's room, Ash prepares to leave. As he steps out, however, he notices a commotion. Team Star has vandalized the school. Episode 26. Graffiti has appeared all over the academy, and thanks to her intel, Penny quickly identifies this as the work of Team Star's Navi squad. While Ash is upset about the situation, Penny reminds him that this is likely the response to being bullied. She urges Ash to help her clean up the graffiti before the director notices, as it can lead to more trouble for them. Together, they stop the grunts responsible and use Penny's Vaporeon to clean the walls. Unbeknownst to them, however, Clavel has already noticed the vandalism and decides to investigate as Clive, enlisting Jessalyn and Jamie for help. As Clive and his team defeat several grunts in battle, they try to gather information, but none of the grunts reveal their reason for the vandalism. Meanwhile, Ash and Penny encounter grunts who are talking to a student named Yusuf. He begs the grunts to take them to their base so he can speak to Don Atticus, but they rudely refuse. Yusuf explains to Ash and Penny that Atticus, the Navi squad's boss, is his dear compadre. Concerned about Atticus being expelled, Yusuf wants to bring him back to the academy. This gets the attention of Clive, who wishes to speak more to Yusuf. Jesselyn and Jamie soon discover that the graffiti contains a hidden message, revealing that the Navi squad has challenged Ash to take on their base as retaliation for the second squad's defeat. Clive urges Ash and the others to accept the challenge to prevent further trouble from Team Star. While Ash, Penny, Jesselyn, and Jamie head to Tag Tree Thicket, Clive and Yusuf stay behind to clean up the graffiti. At the base, a group of grunts try to stop Ash from challenging their boss, but Jesselyn and Jamie decide to handle them, allowing Ash and Penny to proceed. Following Ash's advice, Penny bravely uses her Espeon and Eevee, while Ash battles with Nimble and Charlos. As they fight through the Star Barrage, Jesselyn and Jamie struggle against the grunts outside due to being outnumbered. At the last second though, Meowth and Wobbuffet step in to help, turning the tide. With their support, Jesselyn and Jamie defeat the grunts, and Meowth and Wobbuffet slip away to avoid being seen by the twerps. The episode ends with Ash and Penny continuing their battle in the base, while Atticus watches, intrigued by the teamwork between Nimble and Charlos. Episode 27. As the Star Grunts fall, Atticus steps in, stopping the Star Barrage. He praises the teamwork of Ash's Pokemon, and proposes a rotation battle to test their skills. Ash has never heard of it before, but Atticus explains the format. 3 Pokemon are out, but only 1 fights at a time, rotating positions. Despite his concerns, Ash accepts the challenge, and he uses Pikachu, Nimble, and Charlos, while Atticus uses Revavroom, Ariados, and Grafaiai. Pikachu starts with Thunderbolt, but Atticus quickly rotates into Revavroom, tanking the hit. Revavroom then uses Flame Charge to boost its speed. Ash tries to slow it down with Electro Web, but Revavroom dodges by rotating into Ariados. Ariados uses Toxic Thread, poisoning Pikachu and slowing him down. Pikachu responds with Quick Attack, but Ariados counters with Sticky Web, creating more trouble for Ash's team. Ash is overwhelmed, but then calms down and plans a counterattack. Ash rotates into Charlos and uses Clear Smog to clear the Sticky Web. Charlos then follows with Nightshade, but Ariados rotates into Grafaiai, who's immune and uses Knock Off. Charlos stands firm and uses Fire Spin. Atticus then rotates back into Ariados, so Ash brings out Nimble for a Bug-type battle. Nimble uses Double Kick, while Ariados attacks with the Furious Shadow Sneaks. Nimble fights through it though, and after an intense clash, defeats Ariados with a powerful Bug Buzz. Atticus praises Ash for winning their Bug-type duel, and rotates into Grafaiai. Grafaiai uses Cross Poison to poison Nimble. Nimble retaliates with Bug Bite, but Grafaiai counters with a more stronger Poison Fang, defeating Nimble. Ash rotates to Pikachu, and uses a devastating Thunderbolt to defeat Grafaiai and avenge Nimble. Atticus is now down to the Navi squad Starmobile, but he stays confident. Ash rotates into Charlos, trapping Revavroom with Fire Spin. Revavroom breaks free however with Nauseous Torque, hitting Charlos and poisoning him. Atticus then commences Flame Charge, but Ash rotates back into Pikachu to cancel the attack with Iron Tail. Revavroom uses Spin Out, but Pikachu dodges with Quick Attack and uses Thunderbolt. Revavroom then boosts its speed again with Flame Charge. With Pikachu running low on stamina, Ash commands a powerful Thunderbolt, while Atticus counters with Nauseous Torque. Revavroom is knocked back, but Pikachu goes down from the poison, leaving Ash with a poisoned Charlos. Despite being worried, Ash sees Charlos' trust in him, so he remains determined and decides it's time to Terastalize. Revavroom uses Flame Charge, but Charlos endures and tries Clear Smog, but misses. Ash follows with Nightshade, but it's overpowered by Nauseous Torque. The poison is starting to catch up to Charlos, so Ash thinks on his feet and commands multiple Clear Smogs. Atticus questions Ash's skills, as the attacks keep missing, but Clear Smog eventually covers the field, slowing Revavroom and removing its speed boost. Charlos then traps Revavroom with a boosted Fire Spin. Atticus tries to break free with Spin Out, but Ash commands a finishing Nightshade to win the battle. Atticus is defeated. Ash's friends cheer as Atticus humbly accepts defeat, praising the battle and giving Charlos and Pikachu a Pecha Berry to heal from their poison. Atticus is then surprised as Yusuf arrives, urging him to return to the academy. Clive explains that he actually learned that Team Star are bullied students, which is starting to change his view on them. Ash points out how much Yusuf truly cares for Atticus, making him reconsider his dedication to Team Star, realizing they aren't the only treasure in his life. Episode 28. Atticus surrenders the Navi squad base to Clive, who once again trusts Jesselyn and Jamie to turn it into a star training center. As Ash and the group make their way back to the academy, we focus on Liko, Roy, and Dot, who arrive in Alfornada for Liko's Terastal assessment against Gym Leader Tulip. Liko's excited to take her first step towards mastering Terastalization, but she's also a bit nervous, as she's grown accustomed to having her friends help her in battles and now worries about battling alone. While exploring the town, Liko accidentally bumps into a makeup artist preparing for a fashion shoot. It turns out to be Tulip, who's both the director and model for the session. Tulip's grace and confidence captivate Liko, and she immediately recognizes Liko as her challenger for the upcoming assessment. Noticing how tense she is, Tulip offers to give Liko and her Sprigatito a makeover, not just physically, but emotionally as well. During the session, Tulip emphasizes the importance of inner beauty and the bond between a trainer and their Pokemon, suggesting that Liko's connection with Sprigatito may not be strong enough yet. Flustered, Liko cuts the makeover short, eager to prove Tulip wrong in battle. The battle begins. Liko's Sprigatito faces Tulip's Girafarig, and both trainers Terastalize. Liko starts off confidently with Quick Attack, but Tulip counters with Stomp, flinching Sprigatito and setting up Reflect. Liko attempts another Quick Attack, but now it's weakened, and Girafarig follows up with Crunch. Liko's confidence begins to waver as she commands Leafage, which Girafarig easily dodges before hitting back with Twin Beam. As the battle continues, Liko's panic grows. She starts doubting herself, thinking she only performs well when her friends are by her side. Sprigatito becomes upset, sensing Liko's lack of confidence. In a desperate move, she finally orders Acrobatics, forgetting about Reflect, and Sprigatito hesitates due to the lack of faith. Girafarig takes minimal damage before Tulip finishes the match with a final Twin Beam. Tulip calmly tells Liko that her bond with Sprigatito isn't strong enough yet, so she has failed her Terastal basic test. Liko is devastated. However, Tulip invites Liko to retry the test once she strengthened her bond with Sprigatito. The episode ends with Liko apologizing to Sprigatito and promising to be a better partner to her. Episode 29. At Mexico's Academy, Liko is still down about her loss against Tulip, and Ash, noticing her low spirits, becomes concerned. During Ryfort's history class, the group learned about the Treasures of Ruin, 4 artifacts corrupted by human emotions that transformed into legendary Pokemon. These Pokemon once caused destruction in the Paldea region, but were sealed away by enchanted stakes. Ryfort warns the class that removing these stakes would awaken the legendary Pokemon, which could cause chaos once again. After class, Roy eagerly asks Ryfort where the shrines are located, as he's now inspired to catch the Treasures of Ruin. Though Ryfort hesitates, she eventually agrees to give Roy the information, but only if Roy is accompanied by Gary, who's also investigating the legendaries for research. Gary wants to study the legendary Chi-Yu, and suggests they recruit more students to join the mission. Roy convinces Ash to come along. Meanwhile, Dot has had enough of traveling, so she immediately opts out of this trip. Liko's a bit reluctant herself, but Ash persuades her, hoping the journey will lift her spirits. To their surprise, Amethio offers to join them, citing an interest in Paldean history. The group is shocked, as Amethio usually keeps to himself, but Roy is thrilled to have more help. Meanwhile, Jessalyn and Jamie overhear their plan and plot to beat the group to Chi-Yu. The group ride Koraidon toward the Fire Scourge Shrine. To cover more ground, they split into 2 groups. Roy and Gary head one way, while Ash, Liko, and Amethio go in another direction. Along their journey to find the stakes, Roy and Gary encounter a flock of Wattrel, and Gary suggests Roy catch one to help with the scouting. Determined to add one to his team, Roy sends out Fuecoco to battle. Fuecoco struggles against Wattrel's Thundershock and aerial speed, but after a few well-timed bites and embers, Roy weakens it. He then throws a Pokeball and successfully catches Wattrel. Elated by his new capture, Roy names Wattrel his new scouting partner. Meanwhile, Ash's group pulls their first stake, and while he celebrates their success, he notices Liko is still discouraged. Ash decides to encourage Liko by sharing some of his past losses and telling her that losing battles is a part of growing stronger. Amethio quietly observes the conversation, intrigued by Ash's unwavering optimism. Liko, touched by Ash's words, thanks him, though deep down, she still feels unsure of herself. Episode 30. The search for the stakes continues, as the groups explore deeper in the northern province. Ash, Liko, and Amethio come across another stake site, but before they can retrieve it, they are attacked by a wild Bronzong. Expecting Koraidon to join the battle, Amethio is surprised to see Ash use Nimble and Charlos instead. The 2 Pokemon work together, and are able to ward off Bronzong, allowing them to pull out the stake. Amethio questions why Koraidon didn't battle. Ash explains that Koraidon is still regaining his strength, though he's vague about the details, piquing Amethio's curiosity. Meanwhile, Roy and Gary face their own challenge. Roy is eager to use Wattrel to scout for stakes, but Wattrel struggles to stay airborne for long distances. Gary steps in to mentor Roy, explaining that the wings of Wattrel generate electricity when they catch wind, but it hasn't mastered that yet. Gary suggests they practice near the ocean, where Wattrel can catch the breeze. Back to Ash's group, Amethio's curious about Koraidon's past and its connection to Ash. He starts asking pointed questions about its power, but Ash remains vague, stating that Koraidon's true potential is still unknown. Just then, a wild Zweilous attacks the group, but Amethio's easily able to defeat it with his evolved Dewott. Ash and Liko thank him. Amethio's curiosity now borders on suspicion, but he doesn't push any further, and respects Koraidon's inability to battle right now. As Roy struggles to train Wattrel near the ocean, Gary uses his Electivire to demonstrate how to harness electricity properly. Inspired, Roy signals Wattrel to try once more. This time, Wattrel successfully catches the wind and generates electricity as it flies, soaring farther than before. With Electivire's guidance and Roy's patience, Wattrel locates multiple stakes. Roy feels a surge of pride for both himself and Wattrel, recognizing how much they've grown. The two groups reunite at the Fire-Scourged Shrine, having pulled all the stakes. As they prepare to face Chi-Yu, Team Rocket appears, ready to steal the legendary for themselves. Jesse and James send out their Pokemon and destroy the shrine, unleashing the legendary Chi-Yu. Team Rocket immediately attempts to trap it. However, Chi-Yu becomes enraged and breaks free with a powerful lava plume, which causes a massive explosion, separating the group once again. Episode 31. As the dust settles from Chi-Yu's attack, Roy and Gary find themselves standing before the furious legendary. As they prepare to fight, Ash, Liko, and Amethio regroup. They try to assist Roy and Gary, but Team Rocket confronts them, preventing them from reaching Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu unleashes another wave of fiery attacks. Fuecoco, Wattrel, and Blastoise attempt to fight back, but Chi-Yu overwhelms them with Ruination. The battle grows even more dire when James pulls out a Terra Orb, much to everyone's shock since Terra Orbs are only given by the Paldea League. As James prepares to Terastalize Cramorant, she bites him in excitement, causing the Terra Orb to fly out of his hands and land near Chi-Yu. This causes Chi-Yu to Terastalize. It unleashes a boosted lava plume, knocking out Fuecoco and Blastoise, with only Wattrel managing to dodge. Gary quickly sends out Tyranitar to counterattack. Since James failed, Jesse Terastalizes Grimmsnarl, gaining the upper hand against Ash, Liko, and Amethio. Liko's Wooper is defeated, so she sends out Sprigatito, but she begins to panic and doubt herself. Ash tries to reassure her, but it's not enough. Amethio calmly steps in though, giving blunt advice that cuts through her panic, saying hesitation weakens her bond with Sprigatito. She doesn't need perfection, she just needs decisiveness. His words snap Liko out of her self-doubt, and as she looks at her eager Sprigatito, she commands Leafage, blinding Grimmsnarl. This allows Pikachu and Duat to strike. With her confidence restored, Liko expertly commands Acrobatics. But even with a renewed focus, Team Rocket presses on. Liko's charm then resonates with her emotions, unleashing a surge of energy that powers up Koraidon of all Pokemon. Koraidon transforms into its Apex build, and uses a powerful Flare Blitz to easily blast off Team Rocket. However, Koraidon quickly reverts back to normal as the power from Liko's charm fades. The group are stunned, and as this is happening, Zerk and Anya quietly observe from the shadows. Back to Roy and Gary, they continue their desperate fight against Chi-Yu. Despite Wattrel's agility and Tyranitar's strength, Chi-Yu's boosted flames prove too much, and Wattrel is defeated. As Gary struggles, Pikachu arrives just in time to use Electro Web, giving Gary the opportunity to Terastalize. He then delivers a Ghost Terra Blast that weakens Chi-Yu. With the legendary finally subdued, Gary uses his Ultra Ball to capture Chi-Yu, preventing further destruction. The group returns to the Academy, where Rhyhorn is ecstatic to study the legendary Pokemon. Though Roy is disappointed he couldn't catch it himself, he's inspired by this experience and vows to train hard to find his own great treasures. In a quieter moment, Liko thanks Amethio for helping her regain her confidence. He brushes it off, claiming it was simply to get the best results, but Liko can sense that there's more to him deep down. She also shares a smile with Ash, appreciating his support throughout their journey. The episode ends with Zerk and Anya reporting the behavior of Liko's charm. Hamber is intrigued, and states that it is almost time to strike. However, they are free to go after Ash's Koraidon once again, as its full power will be a huge asset to the Explorer's main goal.